can I get that like actual story here with the red pill? So were you just like surfing the internet one day? Did someone tell you about
Oh no,
CryptoKitties?
no, no.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've asked you about this yet.
no. The red pill story is that actually we at the time were just about to finish acquiring a company in Canada called Fuel Powered that shared an office with another company called Axiom Zen, and that was building this little thing called CryptoKitties. And it was complete serendipity. The co-founder of Fuel Powered eventually became one of the co-founders of Dapper Labs. And of course, when we saw that, we're like, wait a second, you can go ahead and do that, but one, we need to invest in Dapper Labs because we thought that that would be really exciting.
Wow.
We became publishers of CryptoKitties in January of 2018. If you remember, CryptoKitties launched in late November 2017, so it was like super fast when we saw that,
So, so,
and we also
so were
became
you
investors in
investing?
them.
Were you investing in that project? Like it had nothing to do with the blockchain industry, the
Yeah,
project
no, no,
of
no.
it.
So Fuel Powered was a gaming company that was focused on sort of server-based leaderboards and gaming technology. They had clients like Sega, and because Mick, who was the co-founder, and eventually became co-founder of Dapper Labs, and Roham had known each other for a while, and in fact, Mick was on the board also of Axiom, and they shared an office. They're very close to each other, and when Axiom Zen was building CryptoKitties, they're like, well, we need some help with the gaming side of this piece. And Mick was like, yeah, sure, right? They knew each other. That was how it happened. And again,
Wow.
it was pure serendipity. I would say that if we would have noticed CryptoKitties regardless, just because of the impact that it had, but we really had a front row seat, and that sort of fortunate connection allowed us to get into that space more directly and more quickly than perhaps if we weren't involved.
With your software background and just having been in at the forefront of creating tech, one of the craziest things at that time, and I'm sure you had a front row seat for this, was the fact that CryptoKitties kind of broke Ethereum.
Yes.
Were you guys behind the scenes like, what the hell do we do here? What's
Well,
actually
actually, to
happening?
us, it was exciting because in one of the amazing things about any kind of technology that breaks something is that it scales. I mean, we would break servers in the past with scaling internet. We had some early online games. We broke those, right? In fact, back in the days when we were building web-based games, we had a fairly successful title that we co-developed together with Turner, which was a Ben 10 game, and that completely broke the servers back then as well. So for us, anytime something gets broken, we're actually quite excited because we're like, oh, it broke an existing sort of scalable, so-called scalable system or infrastructure due to the demand, and that usually tells us that there's something powerful there. So to us, usually that's an alert signal rather than necessarily something negative. I mean, obviously, it wasn't great for Ethereum, but it had to happen. Otherwise, Ethereum would never consider scaling faster, or people wouldn't think about scaling solutions as aggressively as they have been.
If I had to give you a lightning question here, it would be, when does ETH 2.0 come out?
Oh dear. It's the perpetual question. It's
It is.
almost I think the hopeful answer is typically 6 months, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, it is always
Um,
6 months.
yeah, it's always 6 months. But I would say, with everything that's happening here, there's one difference between now and versus in the past, is that the competition for the L2s as well
Mm.
has actually risen a fair bit, right? So I think there is more pressure to try to do something than before. But I would still give it more than 6 months, probably a couple of years.